Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, a Maine Capitol Police officer is being credited with saving two men who were overdosing in Augusta at the same time.
Maine State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss says Capitol Police Officer Gary Boulette was on patrol near the Riverview Psychiatric Hospital when he was alerted that there were two men who appeared to be sleeping in a car on Arsenal Road. Boulette responded and found the two men unresponsive. Moss says one had shallow breathing, the other was in full cardiac arrest. Boulette gave the one in cardiac arrest multiple doses of Narcan, and he did regain consciousness. The other man did not require Narcan and regained consciousness after Officer Boulette made additional attempts to get a response out of him. Now, both were taken to a hospital, treated, and released. In April, Capitol Police increased the number of Narcan doses officers carry on the street.
Bangor police arrested a man for allegedly robbing his former employer. Bangor PD Sergeant Wade Betters says several officers responded to a business located at 849 Stillwater Avenue around 9:15 this morning. An associate told police that former employee 32-year-old Antoine Vaughn of Bangor entered the store and started an argument over unpaid wages. Vaughn allegedly pointed a handgun at the associate, made threats, and demanded money. No one was hurt during the altercation, and Vaughn left in a vehicle just before officers arrived. An officer spotted Vaughn inside a parked car off State Street. Officers then questioned Vaughn before placing him under arrest. Vaughn was transported to the Penobscot County Jail and charged with robbery Class B.
The Maine State Fire Marshal's office has ruled that the fire that badly damaged a Lighthouse Cottage in Gouldsboro was accidental. They say the fire reportedly started around 5 o'clock Monday morning in a ventilation fan located in the ceiling in a bathroom. Gouldsboro Fire Chief Todd Daly says the family of four renting the cottage escaped without injury. Daly says he believes the cottage is a total loss despite numerous firefighter units working to save at least the entire first floor of that home.
The Mills administration is working to expand child care in the state by offering an incentive for recreational programs. $10,000 in grants will be available for recreational programs across Maine to become licensed child care facilities. A statement from the Mills administration said it would allow them to participate in the child care subsidy program and expand the availability of child care options. The governor said, in part, quote, "Parents need a safe, healthy place to send their kids during the day so they can go to work, bring home a paycheck, and strengthen our economy. To put it plainly, Maine's current and future workforce depends on accessible, affordable child care," end quote.
Ellsworth City councilors have voted to cut the city's public library budget. In a 6-to-1 vote at the council's previous meeting, they approved a $21 million budget for the 2023 fiscal year, a 1.4% increase from the previous year. However, several changes were made before it was passed, including a $39,000 budget cut to the library. Ellsworth Public Library's interim director, Charlene Clemens, said the cut will result in some changes.
Right now, we're pretty sure we're going to cut 1 day a week of service. So we will be closed Monday, only open Tuesday through Saturday going forward.
Originally, the library asked for a $539,000 budget. That request was first rolled back to $463,000 before finally settling at $500,000.
Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor is expanding its visiting hours. The healthcare facility previously restricted the hours and number of visitors allowed due to COVID-19. Beginning today, most patients can have one visitor at a time between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. All visitors must be in good health and free from COVID-19 symptoms. They must wear a mask at all times and cannot eat or drink in patient rooms.
We take a look outside today. We had a pretty nice day, warm, at least projected to be warm, and it was.
Right.
When you were standing in the sun, you could definitely feel that coming down on you, but there was also a really nice breeze, at least where we were.
Yeah.
And so it was still pretty temperate of a day, I would say.
Yeah, you're right. I'd say it wasn't uncomfortably warm. It was
right.
A great day to get out there in your normal street clothes, get out for a walk, do whatever business you have to do outside.
All right, well, there's more of that on the way, and with the first look with at least what's coming in the next few hours or so, we'll turn things over to Jeff Weller and take a first look at our forecast.
All right, Beth, thank you. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather is brought to you by GRF Real Estate Company. And okay, so today we kicked in a northwest wind. That was good because it brought warmer temperatures all the way down to the coastal areas today. And all of us had highs basically in the mid-upper 70s. We'll do it again tomorrow. In fact, many of you could touch 80 tomorrow before some mid-80s get in here to wind down the week. Lots of sunshine out there today, which means clear skies for us tonight. There could be some dense fog in there later on this evening. Otherwise, we're quiet into tomorrow as well. And there is a system over here, though, that could bring us a couple rain showers later on tomorrow night. Our forecast, though, for tonight, though, is mostly clear skies and very comfortable with low temperatures in the 50s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
All righty, Jeff, thanks so much. We'll be waiting for the full forecast in just a bit. And in the meantime, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, Congressman Jared Golden visited Husson University today to view progress on their laboratory renovations. And
Republican Whip Steve Scalise and congressional candidate Bruce Poliquin visit Bangor's waterfront park to discuss the nation's current issues. We'll have those stories and more after this.
Why do thousands of customers take the drive to Newport for all their shoes? Because Comfort Shoes & More has the styles you want, and they also have trained podorthists on staff to help you with all your footwear and arch support issues. We provide free foot evaluations by people who care about fitting you with the most comfortable shoes you will ever own. We have shoes in stock up to 6C and size 17, from safety shoes and boots, running, walking, casual or dress. We have it all at Comfort Shoes & More, 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport, across from Irving.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
If you've been injured and think you can't afford a lawyer, think again. There's absolutely no fee unless we win money for you.
I called the Twos after I was hurt by a drunk driver. It was free for Lowry and Associates to get started on my case. They got my hospital and surgery bills paid for and got me $250,000.
I'm Jim with Lowry and Associates. Call the Twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
ABC 7, Fox 22, C&K Variety, and Prouty Auto Body want to send you to see Keith Urban live in concert on his The Speed of Now World Tour with special guest Ingrid Andress, Saturday, July 23rd at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at C&K Variety in Herman and Prouty Auto Body in Dover Foxcroft. Win tickets to see Keith Urban July 23rd on the Bangor waterfront.
The most talented home cooks return.
There's someone from every season.
This is MasterChef Back to Win.
Don't miss all new episodes Wednesday, only on Fox.
Good morning, I'm Joe Cortez. Coming up on Good Morning Maine, it's International Fisherman's Day, so maybe you'll take the day off of work and out there, throw a couple casts. Well, if your full weather forecast looks like it's going to be a beautiful week, and 4th of July looks like it could be even nicer. Sports will have all the local highlights, and we'll get you ready to get through the midpoint of the week.
Welcome back, everybody. Congressman Jared Golden visited Husson University Tuesday to view renovation efforts that support medical science students who could potentially fill healthcare positions during a nationwide staffing crisis. Husson University is currently renovating the 3rd floor of the Welcome Center in Bangor, but there's still a need for funding to supply laboratories with new equipment. Congressman Golden says he has helped raise money for apprenticeships for Maine community colleges in the past and plans to do the same at Husson. He says he is eager to address funding needs in Congress to secure additional money to support students at a local level. He says this is vital to Maine's economy and encourages more students to pursue healthcare and STEM study programs.
Of course they can do it. I wouldn't have believed that I would be someone who would be able to get into like a STEM career either. But when you come to a place like this and talk to the professionals who are going to be behind it and running it, I have no doubt that they believe in the capabilities of anyone.
Golden also took the time to share his opinions about the historic Supreme Court vote to overturn Roe v. Wade. He says he believes members of the 2nd District will agree that abortion rights are a private health care decision, and he supports the right for women to make that choice.
This afternoon, Republican Whip Steve Scalise and congressional candidate Bruce Poliquin visited Bangor's waterfront park to discuss the nation's current issues. The two were in Bangor discussing problems facing Maine and the nation, including Roe v. Wade and the economy. Poliquin shared how he would fix the economy if elected.
We're going to stop spending money that we don't need to spend, that's beyond what's necessary to fund the budget, number one. Number two is we're going to cancel all these tax increases, which hurt our families and hurt small businesses. We're going to reopen our supplies of gasoline and diesel and heating oil to drive down the price.
Scalise's visit to Maine comes a few days after the 5-year anniversary of a shooting during a congressional baseball practice where he was wounded by a gunman.
Working families priced out of the market. Megan Wilgoose spoke to the people behind a new development project that is promising hundreds of new homes in the Portland area that median income families can afford.
In 2019, the city of Portland chose 4 parcels of land to be developed for workforce housing. 3 of those parcels now belong to Maine Cooperative Development Partners.
In a cooperative, you buy a share of the whole, and then you get a proprietary lease to live there. So you have stable housing costs for as long as you live there.
In order to qualify, a single person must make at least $47,000 a year, ranging up to, for a family of 6, $130,000 a year.
Those numbers are subject to change, and we'll have to remeasure them at the time people move in 2024.
With another 2 years until completion, the land at 57 Douglas Street is full of overgrown grass, but the area holds a ton of potential, Trice says.
Behind you is a Little League field. This is going to become a new basketball court. There's a brand new playground going over there. And then back here, there are soccer fields.
The Douglas location is a 3-minute walk to the nearest bus stop that Ng says eases the strain of a long drive to work for some.
We've heard loud and clear from multiple employers across all different industries here in Portland talking about how difficult it is to attract and retain talent these days because of the shortage of housing that's located close to where people work.
Between all 3 parcels and 200 homes, the project's estimated cost is $40 million, funded through the City of Portland and HUD, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
We are currently waiting to hear on grants from the county and from the city. And the county grants are especially important to us because that helps keep our share price low.
The project is in its 3rd week, taking $500 deposits to secure a spot in line for a house.
That was Megan Wilgoose reporting. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court's decision about abortion could have consequences that have nothing to do with abortion. By overturning Roe v. Wade, fertility treatments in some states could be affected. As Mal Meyer explains, worried parents are now looking to New England clinics for help.
The phone started ringing even before the court's final decision.
We received inquiries from Oklahoma, Missouri, Florida.
Boston IVF, which has clinics across New England, says it's getting about 50 calls a day now from out-of-state patients, many from Texas.
So they've been contacting us, seeing how we can potentially help them, transport their embryos up here to Massachusetts, where they'll be safe.
Part of the concern is how some states' anti-abortion trigger laws are written. Some of the laws were written before IVF was possible.
Depending on, where people sort of define conception, it starts to get a little murky.
How bans are interpreted could mean that any disposal or manipulation of embryos may overlap with laws written for abortion.
Writing the bills without clear scientific wording can make it really tricky.
Sometimes in fertility treatments, more than one embryo develops in the uterus, and doctors selectively reduce the other embryos. Other times, the embryo naturally splits.
That's never anyone's intention, but it can create very unsafe pregnancy situations.
He believes lawmakers writing and officials enacting these bills need to think about the modern consequences. As for concerned patients, Dr. Landon says it's too early for people to panic or make early decisions without consulting their physicians.
We try our best to reassure them.
Boston IVF is letting people know that there is a safe option for their embryos in New England if need be.
We want to help the patient feel like they have a resource in us, that, you know, there is a solution.
And that was Mel Meyer reporting. Well, switching gears now, the community gathered at Machias Memorial High School this afternoon to discuss renovations to the Machias Dyke Bridge. Our Stephanie Wittenbach shares more.
The Maine DOT announced early this month that it would like to replace the current dike, which carries Route 1 of Machias, with a bridge. Some community members are unhappy, and taxpayers believe it will cost them millions of dollars to replace the dike rather than fix what's already there.
Fix those clappers. They could dig the whole thing out, put it in rugged, put something in new. They're saying they're not allowed to do that because of permits. NOAA, at the federal level here, now they need to come and they need to negotiate, not just say, obey, peasants.
Waterfront property owners say the removal of the dike will expose their properties to incoming tidal waves, and they are worried.
As DOT has said, they want to put a bridge in, so that's going to flood. They just said 400 acres of land, and there's 51 landowners, I think Chris Bragg said, that stand to lose.
Federal officials with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration raised a concern, telling Maine DOT that any work done on the dike needs to include improved fish passage.
An occasional salmon go up there, yes, absolutely. But the other rivers that are far more popular with salmon, they've been trying for years and spent millions of dollars trying to restore the salmon, and they haven't been successful.
Carter said ignoring NOAA's concerns could jeopardize federal funding, meaning the work could cost taxpayers significantly more. Right now, the projected date for construction to begin is 2024, if Maine DOT gets all their necessary permits. In Machias, Stephanie Wittenbach reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, NTSB investigators are on scene one day after an Amtrak train derailed, killing 3 people and injuring dozens.
And the January 6th committee hears witness testimony from an assistant to former President Trump's chief of staff. Those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
The signs of spring are here. The sun's out for the evening commute. Whistles and clapping echo from the ball field. And the flowers bloom with warmer days on the horizon. Valley Home Services offers whole home comfort with the changing of the seasons. With a push of a button on a Fujitsu heat pump, you're ready for whatever spring brings. Humid days or cool nights, come home to comfort with Valley Home Services. Home is our middle name.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, Big Wheels Keep on Turnin' Tour. July 3rd, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine, with special guests Marshall Tucker Band and the Outlaws. Lynyrd Skynyrd, back on the road in 2022. On sale now. Buy tickets at waterfrontconcerts.com or Ticketmaster.com. Part of the Varney Insurance Concert Series. Lynyrd Skynyrd, Big Wheels Keep on Turnin' Tour.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Bucksport, is sponsored by Bucksport Regional Health Center. Has what your family needs for good health, medical, dental, behavior health, and more. 2 locations, Bucksport and Ellsworth. The Bread Box Bakery, where we have lots of goodies like our scones and blueberry pie. We are a little out of the way, but well worth the trip. And Tozier's Family Market, Main Street, Bucksport. Pizza, groceries, sandwiches, lottery, meats, and more. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Sunday is the inaugural USFL Championship game, live on Fox. Here we go. From the Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Case Cook is in the Philadelphia Stars.
Absolute laser beam.
Battle Jamar Smith in the Birmingham Stallions.
To the end zone. Caught.
In the quest to take home the first ever USFL title, history will be made.
Unreal.
The USFL Championship game, Sunday at 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business.
Surprise testimony Tuesday on Capitol Hill after a House committee abruptly called a public hearing on the January 6th riot with just 24 hours notice. Fox's Madeline Rivera has details.
A White House staffer and aide to former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows appeared at Tuesday's House hearing on the January 6th riot. Cassidy Hutchinson provided details about Mr. Trump's actions before, during, and after the insurrection.
He was furious because he wanted the arena that we had on the Ellipse to be maxed out at capacity for all attendees.
Hutchinson also said the former president was aware January 6 attendees were heavily armed, but urged the Secret Service not to screen them for weapons.
I overheard the president say something to the effect of, I don't effing care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take the effing mags away.
She added former President Trump became enraged when he found out former Attorney General Bill Barr publicly denounced his false allegations of a rigged election.
The president was extremely angry at the Attorney General's AP interview and had thrown his lunch against the wall.
In another moment of fury, Hutchinson testified that Trump tried to grab the steering wheel of the presidential vehicle and lunge at his head of security when he was told he couldn't go to the Capitol.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel."
And that was Madeline Rivera reporting. Meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison following her sex trafficking conviction connected to billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Fox's Tom Graham has more on that story.
Socialite Ghislaine Maxwell will spend the next 20 years in a federal prison. The former girlfriend of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was found guilty in December of 2021 on multiple counts of sexual abuse. Prosecutors say Maxwell worked alongside Epstein to recruit and groom underage girls as young as 14. They asked Judge Allison Nathan to give Maxwell anywhere between 30 and 55 years in prison.
Prosecutors say that both Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein were using their famous people contacts to convince these teenage girls that, hey, we're really important and powerful.
Maxwell's defense team painting a complete opposite picture, accusing Epstein of being the mastermind. Prosecutors only focused on their client after Epstein committed suicide while awaiting trial. Her lawyer asked for a prison term of 51 to 63 months, describing the federal sentencing guidelines as harsh and unnecessary. One former survivor slammed the former socialite for her lack of accountability, saying her life was turned upside down because of the abuse she endured at the hands of Maxwell.
Yes, Ghislaine must die in prison because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years. The fact that she still maintains her innocence is beyond anything I still can't believe it.
Maxwell intends to appeal her sentencing. In New York, Tom Graham, Fox News.
People living near the site of the fatal Amtrak derailment in northern Missouri say they've been pushing for a safety upgrade at the railroad crossing for years. Fox's Garrett Tenney has the latest from Mendon, Missouri.
When an Amtrak train plowed into a dump truck Monday, the deadly train derailment wasn't a surprise to some local farmers. For the past 3 years, Mike Spencer has been raising concerns that this very kind of accident could happen, warning that the brush and steep incline leading up to the Mendon train crossing make it hard for cars to see if a train is coming, especially since there aren't any flashing lights or barriers.
I tried to prevent this. I've done everything I knew to do in my power. I've talked to numerous people, and anyway, I'm just really saddened that I wasn't able to do more.
The Missouri Department of Transportation says this particular crossing was on their radar. In a February report, the agency identified the site as needing improvements and suggested adding lights and gates. Though MDOT tells us it's still in the process of working out those details and a schedule with the railway. We're also learning more about the heroic actions passengers took and the chaos that followed the train falling off the rails and onto its side. Among the nearly 300 people people on board, more than a dozen Boy Scouts on their way home from a week-long backpacking trip in New Mexico who sprang into action, helping pull others from the windows of train cars and using their first aid training to stabilize injured passengers until first responders arrived.
When this happened, it all just kind of kicked in, and I mean, I just knew what to do, and all of our scouts did. We were just getting people out windows and carrying them down. I know I had to carry a couple kids in my arms, 2 at a time. They were just asking for help, and I was asking them anything hurts.
Late today, the NTSB said for years it has been recommending upgrades to these kinds of train crossings that don't have systems to warn drivers of incoming trains. Those systems are not cheap, though, and can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for each location, which is in large part why nationwide only about half of all train crossings have them. In Mendon, Missouri, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
Dozens of migrants were found dead inside an abandoned tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas on Monday. The governor of Texas is blaming President Biden's policies for the tragedy. Fox's Griff Jenkins has more from Eagle Pass, Texas.
Not supposed to open up a truck and see stacks of bodies in there.
A distraught fire chief following the discovery, 51 dead migrants, teenagers among the victims, 11 still fighting for their lives after being trapped in an abandoned tractor trailer in triple-digit temperatures, without water, without air conditioning. At least 3 people have been arrested. President Biden issuing a statement saying, "My administration will continue to do everything possible to stop human smugglers and traffickers from taking advantage of people who are seeking to enter the United States between ports of entry." But Texas Governor Greg Abbott directly blames the administration, tweeting, "These deaths are on Biden. They are a result of his deadly open border policies. They show the deadly consequences of his refusal to enforce the law." Republican Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, who represents the area, says this could have been avoided.
This crisis absolutely could have been prevented, and it would have been prevented if, one, we secure the border. We implement the policies that are in place. You just enforce the laws that are already on the books.
This as White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre defends the administration's handling of border issues.
But the fact of the matter is the border is closed.
However, the pictures and numbers tell a different story. This large group of 300 to 400 migrants crossing earlier today, the third such group in as many days here in Eagle Pass, Texas. As Fox News witnesses, migrants routinely suffering from heat exhaustion and near drownings.
I'm absolutely concerned that the situation has just become too normal, and the manner in which, people are numb to it.
And as DHS continues its investigation into this tragedy, Customs and Border Protection has yet to officially report the number of border-wide migrant deaths this fiscal year. However, here in the Del Rio sector, Fox News confirms that number is 124. In Eagle Pass, Texas, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, how the Sunbeam Roller Rink in Smithfield is celebrating its 100th year in operation.
And in sports, for the second straight season, Red Sox lefty Chris Sale will make a stop in Portland as he looks to rejoin the Major League club. We'll be right back.
The show that launched 1,000 careers is back with all new judges in an all new season.
Are you ready?
So You Think You Can Dance, Wednesdays on Fox.
I served in the Army and was named the National Military Mother of the Year. I care deeply about our national security, and that's why I'm speaking out against the left's attacks on America's tech innovators. Their bill will empower China to beat America militarily and economically, and make it easier for Chinese hackers to steal our online data. I don't see how any Republican senator can support this liberal agenda. Tell Senate conservatives to reject the left's bill.
Sitting outside for your morning coffee, the sounds of the birds and the feeling of that warm breeze around you. Hey, this is what summer is all about.
And right now, get 15% off on all outdoor furniture.
Experience the outdoors at Jewel's.
At Hashi's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashies, we also do Rhino linings. We can Rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine, inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
Join us at Fairmont Market in Bangor for hand-tossed pizza, sandwiches, salads, and much more. Serving our community since 1925. Fairmont Market is proof that great customer service and delicious food stand the test of time. Open 7 days a week.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
The City of Stars is going full-on supernova for the Midsummer Classic. All the heavy hitters will be here. The blockbuster headliners, the square-jawed action heroes, the A-list of the A-list. So get ready, because the All-Star Game is back in Tinseltown, and we're rolling out the red, white, and blue carpet. Tuesday, July 19th on Fox.
President Biden is in Europe trying to keep NATO allies united as Ukraine's war with Russia drags on. While sanctions aren't a quick fix and the jolt in energy prices is stinging the U.S. and European economies, the alliance seems committed to confronting the Russian security threat by beefing up its own defenses. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
As Russia continues its bombardment of Ukraine, hitting the shopping mall in Kremenchuk with long-range missiles, President Biden is meeting with NATO allies in Europe, vowing the alliance will stand strong against Vladimir Putin.
Together, the new commitments will constitute an impressive display of ally unity and resolve.
But behind the scenes, 4 months into the conflict, the U.S. and its NATO partners are feeling the strain of pumping billions of dollars worth of weapons into Ukraine and trying to punish Russia with economic sanctions that are helping make gas prices soar worldwide.
You predicted it for a while. Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt you.
On Monday, French President Emmanuel Macron buttonholed President Biden outside a G7 meeting and briefed him about failed attempts to get Arab nations to substantially increase oil production. Ukrainian officials worry those economic pressures, combined with recent Russian victories, could mean allies will lower expectations that Ukraine can win back lost territory.
Shrinking of Ukraine essentially means appeasing Putin and going back to the 1938 practice of appeasing dictators like Hitler was.
President Biden is set to travel to Saudi Arabia next month to make his own attempt to encourage Arab nations to increase oil production in the face of $5 a gallon gas prices here at home. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
And back here at home, an off-road vehicle smashes a dozen beehives in the town of Albion, each one containing tens of thousands of bees. Those particular hives were part of a larger effort to research honey production and bee health and to teach beekeeping. As Brad Rogers shows us, those hives and most of the bees are now gone.
I was a little bit shocked that somebody would do that to us.
Abby Lennott's family owns Swan's Honey in the Kennebec County town of Albion. She says on Sunday, when they went to check on this group of hives about a mile from their business, it was in pieces. But there were no scratches or bite marks from bears. She says these hives were hit by a vehicle. In fact, you can see the tire tracks that lead right up to where the hives were destroyed.
Well, I think it was definitely deliberate, or maybe it was an accident that they drove into it, but not letting us know was probably deliberate.
She says a dozen hives were smashed to bits, each one containing a queen and 50 to 60,000 bees.
I'm not really sure like how many it killed. If the queen dies, then that hive isn't going to make it. It has to go on to a new hive.
The family was able to recover some bees, but most of the 600 to 700,000 honey-producing bees flew off. The family believes whoever did this was likely on an ATV because it was in an area way back in the woods where only off-road vehicles can go. Now, they don't know who did this, but Abby Lennon believes they likely didn't get away scot-free.
Whoever did it definitely got stung a lot.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, on an ATV they definitely got stung.
She says the bees would have attacked to protect the hive. The family has been in the honey business 20 years and have several thousand hives all over the state. They open their lands for ATV riders and others to enjoy, and they hope whoever did this comes forward and admits to what they've done.
You know, we trust people to use our property. We try to be really good neighbors to everybody, and we're actively involved in our community, and we hire a lot of people in our community, so we, I guess, hope that people would treat our property better.
That was Brad Rogers reporting. Well, on a similar note, Midtown Manhattan is always buzzing. For one restaurant, it was literally buzzing thanks to a lot of bees there. The NYPD safely removed a bee swarm from a Times Square restaurant on Sunday. NYPD beekeepers responded to reports of a swarm on the outdoor seating area of a restaurant. An officer with the department safely removed about 2,000 bees from that scene. The pollinators will reportedly be moved to a safer location that will put their skills to good use.
And slightly less stinging, but nonetheless enjoyable, Sunbeam Roller Rink in Smithfield is celebrating its 100th year in operation, and its owners plan to keep the iconic business rolling right into the future. Our Jody Hersey has more.
Roller skating is not a thing of the past. It's a family-friendly activity that is still being enjoyed by folks today.
It seems to be a thing in Central Maine. We still get a lot of kids from, small towns. We're in Smithfield, and the towns around us are not very big, but we still get a pretty good group of kids that come out every Friday night.
The Sunbeam Roller Rink, located off North Pond in Smithfield, was built in 1922. Now in 2022, it's a must-see for skaters of all levels and abilities.
I love that this place is still kicking. I love that we've been able to keep it going, that my in-laws have been able to keep it going before us.
The rink's worn hardwood floor and used roller skates have been well loved by many.
Hard at first, but if you know what you're doing, it's easy.
For years, the rink was operated by Matt Bulmer's parents before he and his wife, Kathy, took it over 9 years ago.
I joke often with friends that I married into the roller skating empire. We see big crowds coming here, and their friends come and they meet up and they just hang out for the evening, and they skate and they have fun and they laugh, and you rarely see a phone out.
In today's electronically driven world, Sunbeam Roller Rink offers customers the chance to go back in time and reminisce about the good old days while simultaneously creating new memories for first-time skaters. In Smithfield, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And I definitely spent more than my fair share of time in local roller rinks when I was in middle school and high school. So much fun and healthy. I mean, it's exercise.
Yeah, you and I both have those memories of our local rinks growing up. So it's really one of those activities that transcends time. Yeah. And it's so great to see them keeping that alive, because I heard that the one I used to go to, I think, is closed down now.
Yeah,
so
both the ones I went to are out of commission now, so it's nice to see that it's alive and well somewhere.
Absolutely.
All righty. Well, Jeff Weller's coming back with our full 5 days. Stay with us.
Well, look at us, 70s and low 80s out there today. Tomorrow, same story, followed by even warmer temperatures are on the way. Mid-80s in the forecast. Those details when I come back.
What could possibly be better than our annual tent sale?
Wait a minute, I have a better idea. How about a no tent sale?
He's right. Dorsey's has scoured their warehouses and suppliers for discontinued, slightly damaged, one-of-a-kind furniture and mattresses. You'll find great tent sale discounts of up to 50% off throughout our showroom. They save the cost of the tent, security, and weather damage and pass the savings on to you. Genius.
It's simple. Less cost for us, more savings for you, my friend.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Bucksport, is sponsored by Comfort Shoes and more. Come to Newport today and get professionally fitted so your feet will be pain-free again. Bucksport Golf Club, a charming yet challenging 9-hole course and the home of Duke's Bar and Grill and Banquet Center. And Dave's Auto Repair and Towing in Bucksport and Ellsworth for AAA emergency services and quality cars, trucks, and heavy equipment repairs.
Your New England Ford dealers say thank you to those who answered the call. The bravest, hardest working people. And now we're saying thank you with an exclusive cash reward for military, including all veterans and first responders, along with their families. Now get $500 custom order bonus cash, plus an additional $1,000 for military and first responders for up to $1,500 total savings on select Ford models.
Hey, everyone, listen up. It's time to take back the summer.
With Fox. It's time to sing along.
With your new summer playlist.
Time to bring the heat.
And dance. Into the summer night.
Fox is all new. Old
Summer long.
What's the first thing you want to do when you take a bite of that? Take a second.
A cavalcade of superstars descend on SmackDown to stake their claim to the Money in the Bank contract. It's an all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Look at us, high temperatures back in the upper 70s today, very comfortable air. We'll do it again tomorrow, some low 80s tomorrow, followed by even some humid mid-80s getting in here Thursday and Friday. So for tonight, low temperatures back in the mid-50s. That's nice sleeping weather. And tomorrow, back up in the upper 70s to low 80s, but that's temporary as warmer air is on the way. And that's definitely going to make things a bit warmer around here later on this week. Okay, all because the wind has now shifted out of the northwest. Now, normally, that would bring us some cooler, drier Canadian air, right? But not this time. It's bringing warmer temperatures all the way up to the coastal areas today and tomorrow. But for Thursday, we'll shift the wind more out of the south. You know what that does, that onshore breeze will keep things cooler right and down east and coastal areas on Thursday. Let's check on the drought. Of course, weeks and months and years and decades of drought across the west causing all sorts of problems there. For us, though, it's been a bit dry, okay? We've had some rain, yes, but it is a growing season. We need some moisture, and we're going to get some more moisture around here beginning really tomorrow night with a couple of light rain showers, but more so getting in here over the weekend. And I know it's the holiday weekend, not what you want to hear, but there is some rain showers in the forecast over the weekend and into the holiday on Monday. Not today, though. Look at all the clear skies across the area. Really, some clouds are off well to the east of us. Those will stay there. We have clear skies tonight now. The clear skies and the lighter winds, you know what that means. That means some dense fog in the early tonight into early parts of tomorrow morning before we keep things dry tomorrow, increasing clouds tomorrow night because there's a little system right over there. That's going to catch us tomorrow evening with some light rain showers, non-severe stuff, and then give us a break on Thursday before some more weather gets in here over the weekend. And we're in a pretty active pattern. This system right there is going to disrupt a few things, the flow across the nation. That could likely bring us a slow-moving system getting in here over the weekend and probably into Monday, which of course is a holiday on Monday. But going forward, so plenty of sunshine out there for tomorrow. Once again, kind of like today, temperatures near 80. We'll take it, followed by some rain showers tomorrow night, late after dark, followed by another round of rain showers getting in here over the weekend. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, very comfortable. If you're sleeping in a tent tonight, have fun with that, with some dense fog well after midnight and low temperatures down near 52. For tomorrow, okay, lots of sunshine, a bit breezy. I went with 82 tomorrow, although many of you could get stuck in the upper 70s for highs with a south breeze around 5 to 10, a southwest breeze 5 to 15. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows tomorrow 82, Thursday 80, that's an 86 and humid with lots of sunshine Friday. There's our next chance for organized rain getting in here on Saturday, most likely ending on Sunday with some more rain showers probably late Sunday to Monday. Remember, fireworks this weekend, we got to keep an eye on that with temperatures in the 80s.
All right, so definitely a warm streak heading our way. Woo!
Yeah, absolutely breaking out the short sleeves for this
one.
All right.
Well, anybody looking to be outside for the 4th of July weekend is probably really happy about that.
Absolutely.
All right, well, something else to be happy about. Dave Packett's coming up next with sports. Don't go anywhere.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
Who can you call when you need immediate help, any time of day or night? Always giving you and your family peace of mind.
AAA's legendary roadside assistance is a network with over 50,000 vehicles that respond to more than 32 million assistance calls every year.
If something happens and we're broken down, my family's not going to be stranded.
There are so many benefits to membership, and AAA is there if you're locked out of your car, Need a tow? Run out of gas? Have a flat tire or a dead battery?
You know, if you have one flat tire or one battery service, that membership fee pays for itself.
Wherever you go, wherever you are, you can trust AAA to be there when you need them.
Join today and a full year of AAA membership is just $53. We'll waive the membership admission fee, and as a special bonus, you'll receive a 1-year membership for an eligible family member. Don't wait another second. Call to join AAA right now.
It takes all types to play Family Feud. The sensible brother.
What would you do if you found the top half of a bikini?
Smell it. The Showstoppers. The Cooks.
Give me a seasoning a chef might name his daughter.
Nutmeg.
Don't do that to your baby.
See who shows up all season on Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
Sign up for You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Pick who you think is going to win and compete against other fans for prizes.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, safe to say the last couple of years have been frustrating for Chris Sale, but if there's one group that can maybe find a silver lining, it's Sea Dogs fans, because once again, Sale is coming back to Portland. For the second straight season, Sale will make a rehab appearance with the Sea Dogs, and it'll come this Thursday versus the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Now, the lefty has had 2 successful outings down in Florida working to rehab that rib injury, and if all goes well in Portland, his next stop could be Worcester before rejoining the Red Sox. Now, I wish I could tell you tickets for Thursday were still available, but I would be lying, and it's already going to be a sellout crowd at Hadlock anyway.
Definitely adds a lot of buzz to each one of his pitches, and that's what's so fun about it. It's almost like a Fenway playoff atmosphere when he's here. It was last year when he was here on those 2 starts that, you know, almost every pitch the fans are tuned into, and there's a buzz to it. So we're excited for Thursday to see that again.
So Sale is set to speak either on Wednesday or Thursday at some point later in the week, and we will, of course, have coverage of that and his outing as well. For now, let's move on to some high school sports. The Maine-Nebraska Wrestling Exchange is back, and they made their stop in Bucksport on Monday. Tyler Cruz has more.
Like, coming to Maine, it's like a cool state. Like, you're in Nebraska, it's just cornfields.
This week, some of the best high school wrestlers in Nebraska are ditching the fields for the ocean.
They saw lobsters and got on a lobster boat. Now, you don't do that in Nebraska.
We got you some lobster. We went lobster fishing. That was really fun, actually. I've never had lobster before that.
They take our kids to a rodeo where it's an honest-to-goodness rodeo. And so it truly is a cultural exchange. It's more than a wrestling match, a lot more.
The Maine-Nebraska Wrestling Exchange returned to the Pine Tree State this year, stopping in Lincoln prior to their trip to Bucksport on Monday.
Oh, it's amazing. They're a bunch of great kids. I mean, the last time I wrestled in, the last time they came up here too, going into my freshman year, that was an amazing environment.
It's amazing. The fact that I'm one of the first girls to wrestle in a tournament like this is great. Like, the fact that I can make a name for myself in a pool of boys is pretty stellar.
The event has been going on since 1985, with Maine heading to Nebraska every other year and vice versa. And their motto for the week is wrestling comes second.
First is just getting to enjoy the kids, coaches, experience and everything.
We're wrestling. 3 hours later, we're on the beach. We're best friends, taking pictures together.
I played cornhole with them for about 2 hours, and it's just a great group of kids, great coaches. It's just so much fun to be around.
I got the opportunity to wrestle in it when I was in high school. Both of my boys got the opportunity to go to Nebraska, so it's a great experience. And you get to learn, about a different state and be lifelong friends.
Team Nebraska now goes to Skowhegan on Wednesday before heading south. And at the end of the day, there's just something about wrestling that can bring people from thousands of miles apart together.
It's just amazing. The fact that we can wrestle or we can bond with people that are so far away over, the same thing. It's great.
Just the respect for each other, that you know how hard their sport is, you know what it takes to be successful. And I think that common respect, you just make an instant friendship.
Reporting from Bucksport, I'm Tyler Cruz, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
All right, thank you, Tyler. That's great stuff. A decades-long tradition of competing and also a chance to check out new parts of the country as well. So great stuff there and a great tradition that will continue into the future. And while we're talking about Nebraska and states out west, Camden's Cole Anderson's performance on the Corn Ferry Tour over the weekend has him heading that direction as well. By finishing in the top 25 Sunday at the Live and Work in Maine Open, Cole automatically earned an invite to this week's Corn Ferry PGA event at TPC Colorado. Now, Cole arrived on Monday and will play a few practice rounds before teeing it up with the pros on Thursday. He said for now he's staying an amateur, but the rising young star from Camden knows he can play at any level.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reaffirms that this is possible and this isn't a pipe dream, and it's not something that you know, is as far away as you know, some people probably think. You know, I think I proved a lot to myself this week as far as like where my game is and what I'm capable of doing.
So great stuff there, and best of luck to Cole going forward. And finally, we will end with some news out of Orono, as the University of Maine has announced its Sports Hall of Fame class of 2022. And this year's group of inductees includes 6 individuals and 2 teams. Former hockey player and current Philadelphia Flyers head coach John Tortorella headlines the list, as well as 5-time New England swim champion Elizabeth Carone, both from the class of 1981. In addition to the 6 people, Maine will recognize the 1915 national champion men's cross-country team and the 1994 softball team, who became the first Maine women's program to reach the NCAA tournament. The ceremony will take place on Friday, October 21st in Brewer.
Hall of Fames are, you know, those are kind of fun. Those are some of the most fun days of making those calls and letting people know they've been selected into the Hall of Fame, and to hear them reminisce about their days here in Orono and what the university means to them and the people they interacted with here. It's just a lot of fun to hear those stories.
So congratulations to those 6 individuals and the 2 teams as well for their induction. All right, that's sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Up and Smoke Fireworks is family-owned with a huge selection including Brothers and Showtime, Time Bandit, and Black Hat brands. We will share our knowledge with you, then go have a blast. Up and Smoke Fireworks, 173 West Main Street, Searsport.
Now is the best time to get a great deal on a vehicle at #1 Van Sickle Kia. We have a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles with payments and prices for every budget. Plus, we'll pay you top dollar for your late model vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. There's never been a better time to buy, sell, or trade at Van Sickle Kia.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
Here at Versant, we want to help keep you safe near our power lines. Did you know that work or play near wires causes roughly 10% of all power outages? And that state and federal regulations restrict tree trimming up to 20 feet from energized lines?
Be a good neighbor. If you've got work to do near the lines, give us a call here at Versant Power, and we'll help you stay safe.
No one told us to get up and go. That's just our rhythm. And when the heart throws that rhythm off, Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center will get it back to a healthier beat through minimally invasive procedures for heart disease with no need for open chest surgery. So you can get back to your rhythm of life.
For the first half of his life, Ed Bushy hid his inability to read from everyone until a crisis led him to confront his secret. So he called literacy volunteers at Bangor. He got a tutor and he learned to read. For the rest of his life, Ed promoted literacy to anyone who would listen. Ed's granddaughter, Kayla, was listening. Her grandfather's story inspired her to volunteer as a literacy tutor. Like Kayla, you can help us reach and teach people like Ed. The need is great, especially now. Become a tutor with Literacy Volunteers today.
Up and Spoke Fireworks is family-owned with a huge selection including Brothers and Showtime, Time Bandit, and Black Hat brands. We will share our knowledge with you, then go have a blast. Up and Spoke Fireworks, 173 West Main Street, Searsport.
Twins can be as opposite as wrong and right.
Sheldon, do you really have to do that here?
I drew a ladybug.
Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Welcome back. An Oscar nominee launches a new production company. A TV legend joins the cast of a popular crime drama and more. Fox's Kristen Goodwin has the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
Burnett gets a call from Saul. Crow exorcises evil spirits, and Banderas launches a new company in the Hollywood Nation. Antonio Banderas and composer Andrew Lloyd Webber team up to expand live theater to a wider audience. The duo will develop Spanish-language theater, musicals, and live entertainment shows through their new production company, Amigos para Siempre. They will also adapt several of Webber's Broadway musicals in Spanish, including The Phantom of the Opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, and Evita. Russell Crowe will face off with Satan and his demons for his next role. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the actor will star in the supernatural thriller The Pope's Exorcist. He will play real-life Italian priest Father Gabriele Amorth, who performed more than 100,000 exorcisms for the Vatican.
Who's here to see Saul Goodman?
And Better Call Saul has recruited a TV legend. Carol Burnett will guest star as a character named Marion in the 6th and final season of the hit AMC series. In addition to Burnett, Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul will also make an appearance, reprising their Breaking Bad roles. The second half of Season 6 premieres July 11th.
No one knows what we're doing except for us.
In Hollywood, Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Well, if you're looking forward to your cookout on 4th of July, be aware it could cost a bit more than usual. Prices have gone up this year as much as 36% in some cases, and some examples of what inflation could do to your cookout budget this year compared to 2021. Well, 2 pounds of ground beef costs $11 roughly, and that's up 36%. 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breasts up to about $9. 32 ounces of pork and beans cost $2.53. That's a 33% jump. And a half gallon of vanilla ice cream now running about $5 or so. That's up 10%. Now, there are some items that have gotten a little cheaper. 2 pints of strawberries going for a little over $4, and 1 pound of sliced cheese fell 13% to $3.50. So don't be cheap with the cheese on your cheeseburgers. Overall, you can expect to spend about 17% more on that cookout, marking the biggest increase since tracking data started about a decade ago.
Finally tonight, a new study suggests putting your phone on silent mode or vibrate can actually trigger stress. Researchers from Penn State University found people who silence their devices tend to use them more. The team surveyed 138 iPhone users, and I will say, I don't know about that. I think it maybe stresses me out less.
I think it depends.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
Stay tuned to get 2 rolls of Alien Tape free. You heard that right, free. Finally, there's Alien Tape, a revolutionary new tape that doesn't use adhesive, but strong enough to hold an incredible 17.5 pounds on most surfaces. You'll love it.